Many people are obsessed with LEGO, but LEGO itself has a few more odd obsessions that pop up seemingly everywhere in sets. What are these weird obsessions? Well, let's find out. Getting started today, I've got what might be the single most powerful LEGO piece ever created, Mjolnir. Ever since this piece was first released in 2012, the God of Thunder's legendary hammer has become a staple of any LEGO fan's collection, whether you're a Marvel fan or not. While this piece was undeniably created to be used by Thor himself, it seems that there are plenty of other worthy wielders in the world of LEGO, and it's starting to get out of hand. Let me explain. When this element was first introduced, it came in 3 LEGO Marvel sets: Hulk's Helicarrier Breakout, the Quinjet Aerial Battle, and the Thor and the Cosmic Cube Polybag. This led many fans to simply refer to the piece as either Thor's hammer or, more formally, Mjolnir. However, this isn't the part's official name given by LEGO, and these weren't the only sets to use it upon release. The element's official name is actually a sledgehammer, and it's been popping up in unexpected places for over a decade. Back in 2012, LEGO had started releasing sets under the Fantastic Monster Fighters line, and 2 of these had something a little extra. In the Zombie set, as well as the amazing Vampire Castle, you can clearly see hero Jack McHammer holding a very familiar hammer. Over the next few years, this part was used pretty sparingly, only appearing in just 5 sets between 2012 and 2016. While most of these were indeed LEGO Marvel sets, the Misfortune's Keep from LEGO Ninjago gave us another hammer, this time being carried by a pirate monkey. That same year also saw the Little Elf Helpers, which included a single hammer as part of the tool bench. But even though these sets didn't feature Thor himself, the parts were still being used only as hammers. In 2017, though, things changed with the release of the Assembly Square set. For the first time, we were given this piece and told that you could use it in a decidedly very different way. On step 11 of bag 6, we're told to pick up not just 1, but 6 of these hammer parts to create a great bit of stonework on the facade of the central building. This is truly where LEGO's obsession took over. Over the rest of 2017 alone, Thor's hammer appeared in 10 more sets, none of which featured Thor. They appeared in several sets from the LEGO Ninjago movie line, including 1 in each of the Garmadon, Ninjago City, and Lightning Jet sets. But perhaps the weirdest set that this piece popped up in that year has got to be the Harley Quinn Dorm build from the DC Superhero Girls line. Putting the iconic weapon of a Marvel character here into the hands of a DC villain is certainly a funny choice, but at least it's a character who also famously uses a hammer. Aside from a single appearance in the Mighty Micros Thor vs. Loki set, Thor's hammer wouldn't return to Valhalla until 2020. In the meantime, though, it kept finding brand new homes in various sets, ranging from Ninjago to the Steamboat Willie to the UCS Star Destroyer, which tucks a single hammer deep inside the build. Since then, the part has appeared in several Marvel sets as well as a handful of other themes. Most famously, perhaps, is its use in the A-frame cabin, which uses a staggering 18 of them to create the brickwork out front. Overall, this part has appeared in 45 sets, but 22 of them haven't featured Thor at all. I've got to give a big shout out to a viewer named Owen for pointing this one out, and if you've ever spotted any weird LEGO obsessions, let me know in the comments below. Now, as common as these hammers are, a fan going by Philicon Animation pointed out another LEGO weapon that appears even more frequently, the iconic katana. So far, this piece has popped up in 320 different sets and appears in at least a dozen colors. This is certainly a classic piece that LEGO designers love to include. This part was originally released as part of the Ninjago line. Just to be clear though, LEGO actually released a few different types of katanas over the years, and the one that we most commonly get nowadays has a square guard and holes in the cross guard and blade, but there were earlier versions including the octagonal guard that debuted in 1998 as part of the short-lived Ninja line. After a few renditions, LEGO made up their mind, and we've been getting the same current version for nearly 10 years now. Since then, these pieces have become some of the most prolific out there, and the gold ones are synonymous with Ninjago. Out of the 320 sets that have featured this model of katana piece, 255 of them have been Ninjago, including the Ninjago 10th Anniversary Brickhead set. Aside from the realm of the ninja though, these parts can be found in various sets such as the Mixel Spinza, as well as Mulan's Training Day, and even some Technic sets such as the Ducati here. However, believe it or not, there's another piece that's even more common than the LEGO minifigure katana. This was pointed out to me by many of you guys in the comments, and it's the coffee mug. LEGO is really obsessed with this piece. As it stands, this piece has appeared in 841 sets in 11 different colors, going all the way back to 19 1979. When you consider that minifigures were first introduced in 1978, it's obvious just how much of a priority coffee is in LEGO City. Fun fact, Denmark is the world's 4th largest drinker of coffee per person, and it seems to translate to LEGO's toys as well. But getting back to the mug piece, it first appeared in 1979 in a handful of sets across 3 different themes. It was included in white in set 261, simply called Bathroom, and in clear in the Family Room and Kitchen sets from the Homemakers line. As a side note, I have to point out something interesting in these sets. Just take a look at the baby being held in this image. That's a standard minifigure. Yeah, the scale of these sets was definitely a bit off by modern standards, but it's cool just to see how LEGO has changed things up over the years. In the same year though, we got a blue mug in the Knight's Joust, and the now legendary red mug in the snack bar set from the classic Town line. This piece had a very humble beginning. Surprisingly though, over the next several years, these parts were used pretty sparingly, only appearing in a handful of sets each year. In 1985 though, the mug popped up in a whole 11 sets as part of the now forgotten Fabuland series, but that was the only year to see it appear in more than 8 sets until 1996, when 15 sets featured this part. Over the next 10 years, the part was once again very scarce, but it did make a few famous appearances, including the famous Rock Wrecker from Power Miners. As you can tell, this piece has been around for a very long time, but it really wasn't until the 2000s that things started to accelerate. In 2006, LEGO revamped the LEGO City theme, which was really a game changer. These parts started appearing in a lot of sets. 2006 gave us 11 sets featuring mugs, and by 2016, that's 10 years later, the number was up to 46. Every year between 2009 and today has seen more than 20 sets released with mugs, and that's unlikely to slow down. These things appear in more than 70 different themes, as well as some interesting sets such as 2006's The Batcave, Penguin, and Mr. Freeze's Invasion. However, of the more than 800 sets with mugs, 244 are from City and Town, with another 85 coming from Friends sets. Regardless, it's really hard to comprehend the sheer magnitude of 841 sets that are unique, that each have at least one of these mug pieces in it. Now, another piece that's seen a huge surge in recent years is the cherries element. Its rise to stardom is quite ridiculous. Let me explain, and as I do, tap that subscribe button if you enjoy my videos. I really appreciate it. Since its introduction in 1998, the LEGO cherry piece has made its way into 229 sets and appears in 4 colors: red, lime, magenta, and dark pink. This part got its start in the long-forgotten Scala line, where it appeared in 4 sets, and in 2000 it debuted in dark pink in a handful of Belleville Fairy Tale sets. For the next few years, this piece would only appear in Belleville sets, making it something of a rarity at the time. Its first appearance in a set that people today might remember, though, didn't come until 2004, when 2 of the parts were included in the Harry Potter Shrieking Shack set. Things started to change in 2006 when cherries were released in lime color as part of the SpongeBob SquarePants Adventures in Bikini Bottom set. Not only were these in a new color, but this marked the first time that the piece had been used as something other than actual cherries. In this case, they made up the eyes of Gary the Snail, which is quite genius. Over the next several years, these parts only ever came in a few sets a year. Many larger modular sets like the Market Street and Cafe Corner included them in red or lime, and they even appeared in sets like 2010's Prince of Persia Fight for the Dagger. Everything changed in 2014 when LEGO launched the Friends line. That year, the cherry piece made its way into a dozen new sets, up from just 4 the year prior. Ever since then, it's been found in around 20 new sets each year, and so far in 2024, it's popped up in 2 of the new Animal Crossing sets, Julian's Birthday Party and Bunny's Outdoor Activities, as well as one of the largest Monkey Kids sets and the Medieval Town Square, among many, many others. But not every LEGO obsession is a single LEGO piece, because you see, LEGO seems to absolutely love fire trucks, and who can blame them? They're big and loud, they have ladders, bells, and save lives. There's no denying that fire trucks are cool, but sometimes too much of a good thing can be a slight problem. LEGO has released a lot of fire trucks over the years, like a whole lot, and that's not anything new. Before LEGO was even making plastic bricks, they made wooden toys, and one of the very first was this wooden fire truck released in 1946. By 1958 though, LEGO had pivoted to plastic toys, and one of their earliest offerings was the Bedford fire engine. This wasn't brick built, but it was included in a few LEGO sets like the 111-piece fire station. The first fire truck that would be recognizable today as a proper LEGO build has got to be the 1964 fire engine. With 170 pieces, the set is certainly a bit underwhelming by modern standards, but it was a big deal at the time. On a side note, I just have to point out these instructions. 170 pieces and only 6 steps? Yikes. Over the next several decades, LEGO really never slowed down on releasing fire trucks. In fact, as of 2024, they've released at least 172 different fire trucks in sets with no sign of stopping anytime soon. That is a crazy number of fire trucks. The minifigures in LEGO City are certainly well protected from fires. Now, of course, no discussion of LEGO's obsessions is complete without at least one mention of frogs. In my previous video on this topic, I missed one very important thing. A fan going by the name The Game Critic commented that I forgot to mention the frog in the Lion Knight's castle, and I agree that this particular frog inclusion is quite interesting. So let's take a closer look. This set is an absolute goldmine of fun references and clever building techniques, but one of the most interesting is also one of the most subtle. Beneath one of the watchtowers, sitting comfortably on the grass, there's a small brown frog. Nothing out of the ordinary here. After all, LEGO has a bit of a soft spot for putting frogs in sets. But what catches the eye though is what's directly overhead. A few levels up, you can see a fairly accurate medieval toilet, essentially just a hole with an area beneath functioning as a primitive waste disposal system. This frog appears to have found itself in an unexpected spot, evidenced by a curious note in the instructions that says, "A brown frog? I wonder if it was always this color." But this isn't the only funny secret hiding in a LEGO set. Click here right now to see even more hidden LEGO secrets, and don't forget to subscribe for more LEGO videos.